telling you. My dogs are barking today. Oh. That feels better.
Gosh. Well, you may have shared a flight with them, you know, the loud talkers, the instant recliners, or what about the person next to you who is hogging the armrest? Not to mention taking their socks off. Traveling by air can be hectic, rushed, and rude at times, but there are ways to make your transit a bit more enjoyable.
And joining us now is travel expert Jennifer Weatherhead Harrington with some etiquette tips on a plane.
That was one of my favorite movies.
That's classic. So what is the biggest faux pas you find on planes?
Well, the thing I get asked about the most is definitely reclining the seat. Do you recline? Do you not? People are either for it or against it. I say at least be a thoughtful recliner if you are going to do it. Take a look back behind you. Make sure someone's not working on their laptop, that they don't have drinks. It's not someone with a baby in their lap.
Right.
You know, and don't just push it back as far as it will go, as quickly as it will go back. And then make sure you put it back up during food service, because sometimes there's hardly any room to put your drinks.
Oh, yeah. The seats are getting tighter and tighter these days.
And a little heads up, too. Common courtesy, just like, hey, do you mind?
Yeah, exactly. Especially if they are working. It can be quite cramped.
Yeah, good point. Let's talk about carry-on luggage, because I feel like this has become a bit of a bone of contention for a lot of people, because more and more people are taking it on because they want to take advantage of free luggage.
Exactly, and I'm pro carry-on, but make sure that it is the proper size and that it will fit, and also make sure that when you are putting it on the overhead, that it's the space above your seat or within your area.
Okay.
So a lot of people try to sneak and get the space up at the front, but you just kind of create a backlog when people are trying to get off. And I've noticed lately a lot of people end up putting their luggage at the very back of the plane, say they're one of the last people to get on.
Oh.
And there's only space at the back for the luggage. So if that's the case, when you are deplaning, you need to wait. You can't kind of fight traffic and fight your way through everyone to try to get your luggage.
Speaking of deplaning, what is the proper etiquette of waiting your turn? People should wait their turn, right?
They should wait their turn,
Unless you have a connection.
Exactly. And usually the flight attendant will let people know that, hey, there are people on this flight that need to get to a connection. But really, just wait your turn. You can stay seated. If everyone stays seated and you go row by row, it goes a lot faster. I don't know if you saw that viral video recently of some Canadians on a WestJet flight who obviously know what they're doing.
Right.
They all wait. And it's just a speedy process.
Perfect. There we see.
Look how calm and relaxed everyone is.
So civil.
So here's a question, and I think some people can relate. What do you do with the armrest? The armrest when you're on a plane.
If you're in the middle seat, those armrests are yours. You already kind of have a not great seat if you're in the middle, right? So if you're sitting in the aisle or the window, be courteous to the person in the middle. Let them have the armrest. You can also sort of layer your elbows, you know? Someone can have the front part of the armrest and someone can have the back if you're okay with that. But be kind to the person in the middle seat, because that's not a great seat already.
Indeed.
And the legs, too. The spreading, right?
Yes. Stay in your own space.
Yeah, exactly.
Personal space. It's not your home, right? I mean, that leads into some other etiquette of, you know, taking your shoes off or your socks off or putting your feet up. That's not really appropriate because you're in a public space. I'm all for making your space comfortable, but not at the expense of other people.
Okay, physical space we're talking about. What about loud passengers, chatty passengers that you just want to enjoy your flight?
Well, first of all, headphones are #1 thing that you need to have in your
noise-canceling headphones.
Noise-canceling headphones. But you can also be polite. If you're next to a really chatty person, you can just say, you know, I really need to catch up on my sleep, or I need to do some work, and put your headphones in, and that should hopefully, you know, stop the talking. But if something is going on and it keeps progressing and it's making you uncomfortable, don't feel afraid to talk to the flight attendant. You know, there is a point where you can speak to the flight attendant, especially if it's a touchy subject, if someone's a loud snorer or being a bit aggressive, make sure you alert the flight attendant.
Jennifer, good tips today. We'll all be much more prepared and pleasant when we're flying.
Like Del Griffith.
Nice flight. Thanks, Jennifer.